Hello, yogis. Welcome. I'm Anne. Thanks for being here today. Don't forget to subscribe. Today, we are going to work on opening up the hips. So let's start in child's pose. Come down onto your knees. Widen the knees, not all the way wide, not all the way together, so just enough where your torso is still going to be supported on your thighs. Take your hands, stack the hands, place the forehead right on top of your stacked hands. Elbows are out to the sides. And if you need to adjust, if you got down, you need your knees wider, closer together, just allow yourself to adjust into it so it feels good. Close your eyes and start to follow your breath. And really focus on breathing into your lower back and the back side of your hips here. Allowing yourself to just create some space with your breath. And if you like, set an intention for your practice. Let's come together with our breathing. Take a nice, slow, long, deep breath in through your nose. Exhale, let it go. Inhale. Let it go. One more. And let it go. Lift your chest up enough so you can bring your knees close together now. Walk your hands over to the right side of your space. I like taking my left hand on top of my right, so you're really lengthening through your arms, but you're letting your hips fall to the left and just kind of accessing the lower back, the back side of your left hip here. Take a few breaths into that space. Breath is now moving in and out through your nose. There's a soft whisper of the sound ha as you inhale and exhale. So there's a tiny bit of constriction in the back of your throat. Let's switch sides. Walk your hands across towards left, hips sway towards right. And again, if you like, take that right hand on top of the left. And your head's going to be off the ground for most of you. Leaning your hips to the right, stretching through the right arm. Breathe into the sensations that come up. Beautiful. Walk your hands back through center. Come up onto your hands and your knees. We're going to start with hip circles. So sweep the hips to the right, all the way back around to the left and forward. You can go as fast or as slow as feels good here. Kind of letting go of what you look like when you're moving. It's the glory of yoga. We do all sorts of weird stuff in here. No judgment is passed. Switch directions. You might have some popping or creaking going on. And if at any time you need to place something below your knees, a blanket's always welcomed. And then slowly tuck your toes, coming to neutral. Lift your hips up and back into downward facing dog. We'll start by pedaling out the legs, just loosening up the ankles. Your feet about hips width distance. Rise up onto the tippy toes of both feet and then turn your heels to the right. Lower the heels down as far as you can go, keeping the legs nice and straight. Lift the hips up and back and breathe into the outer left hip here. Just letting your head hang heavy. Arms are strong. Beautiful. Switch sides. Come up onto your toes. Turn your toes all the way to the right. Let the heels get heavy. Straighten the legs as much as you can. And then press into the hands, lifting the hips up and back. And you'll access that outer right hip this time. Outer IT band. Maybe your hamstrings are tight. I don't know. We all come to our mat with different little things. Beautiful. Come back to center. Hands walk back towards feet. Take a forward fold here. Soft bend in your knees. Head hangs heavy. Grab across for opposite elbows. Add a gentle sway side to side if you like. Beautiful. Fingers are on the mat or they can be on a block. Keep your left fingers grounded here. Bend your left knee generously. Straighten your right leg. Right hand reaches to the sky. I like to just hang my head here. Press down now through the pinky toe side of your right foot. Breathing into your lower back, your right hip. Just looking whatever direction feels good. If you want to move your head a little, you can. And then switch sides. Bend generously your right leg. Right fingers come down. They can be on a block. Left leg straightens. Left arm lifts. Relax your neck. Pressing into the outer edge of your left foot. Breathe into sensations of creating some space in your body today. Soft bend in your left knee. Left hand comes down. Wiggle your toes a little wider. Toes out, heels in, squat malasana, hands to heart. Gently pressing your elbows to your inner knees. If you need support below your heels or your sitting bones, you can take a block or a blanket below your heels. It's helpful. Option here to just circle your head, releasing your neck. Breathing space across, again, your lower back. There's a little pinch happening in your hip creases. So the real magic happens when we release this pose. We get fresh blood flow to that space where your hip flexors are. Pause with your head neutral for a moment longer. Take a deep breath in. Fingers down, hips go up. Walk your hands forward to down dog. Step your feet a little closer together. Let's reach our right leg to the sky. At the top, bend your knee, open the hip up. Allow yourself to move your knee in big or small circles, just feeling a loosening of the right hip socket. Go in the opposite direction. Reach right knee to the sky. Exhale, step your right foot outside of your right hand. Lower your back, left knee down for lizard pose. Blocks under hands are welcome if you need them. So you can stay up here on your hands, but this first moment, just gently sway a little bit side to side, kind of work through any tightness that you might have going on in your body. Once you've done that, you can keep doing that or lower down to your forearms and find more stillness. Relax your head, your jaw, maybe even close your eyes. Take a couple breaths here. You can stay with this, or you can go a little bit deeper into this right hip by leaning either into your left forearm or left hand. Take your right hand to your inner right knee, your right thigh, and just kind of gently press open. You're resting on the knife edge of the right foot here. Relax your neck. Beautiful. Both hands to the earth inside of your right foot. Pop your left knee in now so it's right below your hip. So you're more of a boxy shape here. And then lower back down onto your forearms. A little different access to the lower back and where the back sacrum is. Back of your right hip. You might feel a lot in your hamstrings here. I know I do. For those of you that are a little bit more open, option to wrap your right shoulder around, or underneath, I should say, the right shin and hold on to that right foot with your right and or left hand, kind of getting your head closer and closer to your right ankle. Definitely not necessary, so don't go there if you're not feeling it. Beautiful. Unwind yourself. Come back up onto your hands. Wiggle your right foot towards the midline and then straighten out the right leg. Flex the right toes back, lengthen and fold for Ardha Hanuman. Keeping the spine nice and long here. Breathe. When you think about your hip, it's kind of everything that surrounds the hip too. It's the back of the leg, the outer leg, the front hip crease, the lower back, the glute. If you're here and you want to go a little bit deeper, take your left hand to the sole of your right foot and gently guide those toes back even more. Keep stretching forward with your torso, with your chest. All right, release, rebend the front knee, press back down dog. Left leg to the sky, bend the left knee, open the hip up. Start by doing knee circles here. Going to the other side, so just kind of repeating. If you modified, you might choose to modify the same on the second side, switch directions, or, if your body is different from side to side and you do different things, that's okay too. I don't think there's a right or wrong way. Knee to the sky, take a breath. Exhale, step it outside of your left hand. Get it all the way forward so the knee is above the heel. And then lower your back right knee down and inch it back. You can pad the knee if you need to and just kind of move a little bit. Allowing the body to get used to being this open. Blocks under hands are always welcome. Option to come down to forearms if you wish. If you do that, just make sure you're not taking tension in your hands, your neck, your shoulders. Anything that can be relaxed should be. And then just breathe. Creating sensation and opening in the body, making room for more strength, more energy, letting your body rid itself of what it doesn't need and recycle what is useful, giving you the ability to just feel better. If you did this on the second side, we're going to lean into our right forearm or right hand, left hand to inner left knee. Gently guide that knee open just a little bit. Roll to the outer edge of your left foot. Relax your jaw, relax your neck. Listen to the sound of your own breath. Listening to the sound of your heart beating in your chest. Beautiful. Both hands to the ground. Roll that left sole of the foot back down. Pop your right knee in so it's now kind of right below your right hip. And then lower back down to your forearms. Or use a block. Head hangs. This, for some of us, should feel like not as much is going on, but it's a great opener for your sacrum. If you have lower back issues, I love this pose for healing the lower back. If you went further on the first side, tuck your left shoulder under your left thigh, grab a hold of your left ankle with your left hand from behind, then right hand, and then kind of hug your head closer to that inner ankle. That's going to deepen the stretch for you. Definitely places you can go with this over time. Today we're just using it as a nice deep stretch. So pay attention. Where do you feel this? Can you breathe right into that space? I know my left hamstring's feeling awfully tight right now. Beautiful. Unwind. Come up onto your hands, heel toe your left foot to the midline. Shift back. You might need to move your back knee back a little bit. Flex back through the left ankle, pull toes back, kind of flare them apart, lengthen, and then fold. Ardha Hanuman, half splits. Hips should be pretty even here. Lots of times when I'm in a class, I'll see some of you sit all the way back. I'd rather have you with your hips up over your right knee for this one, unless you need to modify. To intensify it, right hand to left foot, guide that left foot into a deeper flex. Keep lengthening through your side body and your torso, but relax your face, relax your jaw. Releasing, rebend your front knee, tuck your back toe, back knee lifts, step back into down dog. Let's do one more here. Right leg to the sky, bend your knee, open up your hip. Bring your right knee behind your right wrist, foot to the left for pigeon. So if you're newer to pigeon and you have knee issues, if this ends up hurting your front knee, come to your back for thread the eye of the needle. Guide your left knee back to a place where it feels accessible. I'm really tight today. This is a good example of what tight looks like. Once you're there, relax your back ankle and the toes should be pointing straight back. This front shin is not going to be parallel across the mat for all of us. So my heel is back, my ankle is flexed, but I'm squared off over that front shin. Over time, the heel might pull forward. It might never. I don't know. Our bodies are different. So lift up for a moment, lengthen through your side body, lift up through the pelvic floor. When you find that length, then take that length up and over the front shin, coming to forearms. You can use a bolster underneath you, a block. You can lay all the way flat. Find a place that's comfortable. Close your eyes. Enjoy opening up here. Our hips are a place in the body that we store a lot of emotion, old memories, all the bullshit. Yes, I said that. So, going into your body and decluttering the stuff that you don't need. Sometimes we actually know what it is we need to let go of, and sometimes we just do the work of the poses and the process happens naturally. So whether you are aware or not of what you might be storing in your hips, do the work. You'll notice a huge difference emotionally, mentally, and of course physically. Take a couple more breaths here. Let's press our way back into down dog. So come up onto your hands. If you're on your back, you're going to just switch sides. You can do that. Or if you need to go to your back for the next side, go ahead. Shake out the right leg a little bit. If you like to open up that front of that right hip flexor, follow me. You'll place your foot to the ground. You'll glide towards a plank. You'll roll to the outer edge of your left foot. Step behind with your right foot and take this little kind of flipping of the dog or side hip opener. Take another breath with it. We'll make our way back into down dog. Left leg to the sky, bend the knee, open the hip up. Switching sides. Left knee behind, left wrist, foot to the right. A good flex of that front ankle. Inch your right knee back, lower the right knee down. Flatten the ankle, look at your foot. Make sure your foot's not all turned to the side. So many are. Lift up out of your pelvic floor. Lengthen out of your waist. Don't just collapse down. Stretch here for a moment. And again, you don't want to be sitting all the way off onto your left hip. There's another pose you can do like that, but that's not the one we're doing today. So right over the top, lengthen as you come forward. Allow yourself to settle into a place that you can be for a little bit longer of a hold. Again, if this doesn't feel right in your left knee, head to your back, cross left ankle over right thigh, thread the eye of the needle. Breathe into the stillness you're creating. The time you're spending with yourself. It's you time. It could be considered a mini vacation for some of us. Is there one place in your body you can relax a little bit more? If so, do that. Last couple breaths here. All right, let's press back to down dog. Tuck your back toe, lift your back knee, shake out your left leg. You can just simply stand down dog, pedal it out, or you can glide to plank, roll to outer edge of right foot, step left foot behind you, send your left arm up and over the ear, side stretch, or even a little bit of a flipping of the dog, just opening up the hips from the front side. Breathe. Beautiful. Come back around. Plank, and let's all lower to our bellies. Take your left arm in front of you, bend your right leg. You can use a strap here if you need it. Grab a hold of your right foot and just pull your right heel towards your right glute here, keeping the knee in. You don't want your knee to be coming out to the side, so stay as linear on your mat as you possibly can. Reach back through your right knee. Allow yourself to open up the front of your thigh. Just a couple breaths. You can place your head down and turn your head to the side. Beautiful. Switch sides. So again, keep the knee in next to your right thigh. Heel hugs back towards your sitting bones. Lengthening back through the knee. That's going to accentuate the length in the front of the thigh, through the front of the hip. Release that second side. Hands below your shoulders. Press all the way back towards child's pose. Take a couple breaths here. You should be feeling pretty good. We're going to roll slowly up. Come off onto your sitting bones. Feet are going to come together. Knees are going to be apart. Sit up nice and tall. And then fold over the feet. Use your forearms against your shins to kind of press the hips open a little bit extra. Head hangs. You can also reach your arms forward. Beautiful. Couple more breaths here. Peel yourself up. We're going to keep the shape of the legs. Take your left hand to your right knee, your right hand behind you. Just a really gentle twist. Look over the back shoulder. And switch sides. Sit up tall. Both sitting bones stay rooted. Spine unwinds. Beautiful. Unwind back to center. Come on down onto your back. I've got one more for you here. We're going to cross right thigh over left. Flex the ankles. You'll start with some of you will just hug the knees in right here. You'll feel that in your hips. Some of you will slide your hands down to your inner, or outer, I should say, ankles, keeping the feet flexed. Another way of doing this is grabbing a hold of your heels. Feet flex, so ankles are not turned here, okay? That's the goal. And then what do you do with your feet? Do you hug your heels down, or do you keep your shins parallel across? Try both. Making sure your feet are flexed, your knees should be able to handle either or. And if one feels like a better option, choose that. I'm going to keep my feet elevated today, trying to keep the sides of my waist equal. Shoulders and neck relaxed. This is pretty intense. It just depends on how sore you are today, how open you're feeling. Beautiful. Switch sides. Ooh, take a moment in the middle. Left thigh crosses over right. So again, you can just hug the knees in, grab the outer ankles, or grab across for the heels, and then mirror what you did on the first side with your feet. Did you keep them lifted so the feet are in the same line, or are they hugging down by your hips? And then for most of us, when we're tight, our left side will be shortened here. So lengthen your left side waist, and hooey, that really intensifies things. Breathe into whatever you're feeling, whatever's coming up. Be proud of yourself for giving your body this little break today. Good. Unwind. I'm feeling like I need a straddle, so if you want to join me, straddle the legs out to the sides, flex the heels. Good. And then bring your knees in to your armpits. Loop your forearms, kind of your crook of your elbow to the outer knee. Link a finger or two. Just relax the legs. Hold on with your fingers. Let some space go across your shoulders and your lower back. Close your eyes. Be still. Super restorative for your spine, low back, of course our hips. When you're ready, just unwind your legs, stretch them out long. If you need something else, of course, honor that. Feet at least hips width or wider. Palms turn up, close your eyes. Take about 10 breaths here. If you need a longer Shavasana today, yes, please do honor that. Let's just stay with this together. Really let your body receive what you've just put into it. When we have nice, open, fluid hips, we are more open to creativity, that kind of go with the flow feeling. This is a space of your sexual power, allowing yourself to just feel fluid. 5 more breaths. Truly feeling like you are enough and you have done enough. Beautiful. Take a deep breath in. Let it go. If you want to stay, stay. Otherwise, bend your knees. Either rock up or roll off to the side. Come up to your sitting bones. Cross your legs. Just take a moment for yourself. Palms are kissing. Eyes are closed. If you have an intention, state it here. If you don't have one, maybe you want to set one. We seal our practice. May the divine in me greet and honor the divine in you. I am so thrilled to be practicing with you. Again, I'm Anne. Please subscribe, and I hope to see you soon. Namaste.